Hello, everybody. Welcome to Better Together. When you know better, you get better. That's what we do here every single day. It is Monday, February 15th, 2021. My Valentine is sneezing in the corner like he does. Honey, you sneeze a lot.
It's all the coke. It's all the cocaine.
Oh, okay, got it. That's not funny, honey. Our quote of the day. Love recognizes no barriers. It jumps hurdles, leaps fences, penetrates walls to arrive at its destination full of hope. That is from Maya Angelou.
How lovely, right?
We got the whole know better, get better from her.
That's
Her
right,
thing
we
is
do.
know better, do better. We're like know better, get better, and then do better. You know, it's like a chain of events.
Right.
Kelsey, I just realized you have your new headphones on.
Thank you.
Interesting.
Thank you.
No more big headphones.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, something to get used to. Guys, we're coming to you, of course, from our East Coast studio. It is a snowy Connecticut. Happy next day, Valentine's Day for everyone. It is it's Valentine's Day month. I don't know if you guys know this, but
It's Valentine's month.
it's Valentine's Day month, but I'm wearing my black. I don't know who makes this actually. Is this Bobo? I like this brand actually. So these are all
these
little
are
hearts.
Nordstrom. Mhm.
Yeah.
Cute.
Kelsey knows from her Nordstrom days. My favorite is when like, oh yes, I know this shoe. Hold on, because she.
Like, is that the Nike Presto?
Yeah, I'm wearing a sneaker on our hike the other day. And our hike, we walked down the street in the snow and in the cold, and Kelsey was like, "Oh, is that the Nike Presto?" And I'm like, "Why do you know what my sneaker is called?" And then I remembered, oh,
I was a shoe dog.
She was the shoe girl.
Shoe dog back in the day. We called them
Mhm.
shoe dogs.
Is that a true thing?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
We were the best part of the Nordstrom team. The
shoe
people.
dogs.
Shoe dogs.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. We were a lot of fun, Maria.
You know what you and Kelsey have in common, Maria?
What?
Is you take those jobs that civilians like me in the middle class were just trained to hate, but did it
Mhm.
begrudgingly. Like you went into Dunkin' Donuts and she went into Nordstrom's, and you guys were excited and you made fun out of
Loved
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just it's really inspiring.
Thanks.
Oh.
I think my next life that'll be me.
Well, I think people make me happy. So when I'm with people, I'm like, I'm good.
Same.
There is the side of me that's also like, I've had enough. But it really takes a lot. It really takes a major vampire for me to be like, I don't want to be around
Same.
people.
I'm the same way.
No, and I think for me, whether it matters or not, I was good dishwashing. Meaning, like, put me in the back room to do all the grunt
Right,
work and the
right.
Alone.
So I did in the carny business. I didn't like dealing with the customers.
Mhm.
There were other people who did that, but then I would like do all the other dirty grunt work,
Oh.
heavy work no one wanted to do, but I liked it.
I loved it. I remember when I left my second Nordstrom, our managers were so sad because they were like, man, who's going to deal with all the crazies? Because I just loved them. I'm like, I like talking to people. I like people. And I said, listen, you're never going to find someone like me.
No, they definitely are not. They definitely are
So-
not. And we're glad you're with us and not them.
Yeah. Me too.
Listen, guys, we get a lot to get to today. I have some really cool kind of breakthrough things I want to share with you guys. That's pretty exciting. But first, it is Monday, so you know it is good news.
Good news
Monday. Wow!
That's good.
Even though we don't have Jeff, we still have Good News Monday,
That's
and
right.
today's is kind of blow your mind amazing. So, Kelsey, will you do the honors?
Of course I will. So you guys, the cutest story ever. And Maria actually saw it the other day.
Mhm.
So then when I was scrolling through the Good News Monday Instagram feed, I said, listen, we need to do this because Maria loves this story. So this nun, 117, she had her birthday the other week.
117, everyone.
117. It says she survived 2 world wars
Mhm.
and COVID, and she celebrated her 117th birthday. So I'll show you guys the picture. It's just adorable. She's the freaking cutest.
And you also buried the one part. She survived 2 world wars. She survived 2 pandemics.
This is true.
And she just beat COVID. So that's the exciting part. You kind of just lumped it all together here.
2 world war. I did that. I
Yeah.
said world wars, but the pandemic.
But the point is that she just beat COVID. Like, she's 117. She got COVID and she beat it. And she's celebrating her 117th birthday. Like,
Amazing.
Big deal.
Look-
I have a friend.
Oh my
No,
God.
listen, I have a friend that put up an Instagram post and it only got, 50 likes as opposed to like the usual 200, and she was fine. And I was like, girl, you are just resilient. So fine for your lady at
so that was
117,
our
but-
Good News Movement Monday.
No, but
Anyhow.
that does not give you perspective. of
Yes, honey.
117 and what someone like that has been through.
What she's been through, what she's seen. It's wild. I was talking with Alyssa this weekend, my best friend, and I was like, I know we've been in this almost a year. I still can't grasp the fact that this is our new life. Like, I think I've left the
Yeah.
house like 3 times, and the 2 of them were to eat pizza in the car while we picked it up to go.
I know.
It's especially hard, again, going back to your personality type, you and Kelsey, because you're so extroverted. And
We
you
thrive
roll
off of
pretty
people.
well.
Yeah.
You roll
I think
pretty
we're
well.
doing exceptionally well.
I
I
do
mean, we
too.
really have no choice.
I know.
But, and there's something, listen, we make lemonade here, but like, whatever, we're making lemonade, but I don't know. It is so strange. Like, my best friend works for the airlines,
Mhm.
and she's like, Maria, business travel's over. She's like, I'm now dealing with people at the airport who don't know what travel really like is. Like, they're people that may have only traveled once in their life, and they're going on trips now because everything's so cheap. And I'm trying to explain to them that they're going to be sitting next to their child, and they're trying to get refunds on their money because they're like, well, if I'm moving from this seat, I want you to refund me. And she's like, no. You're going to move your head to the right, and your child is going to be right there. It's so wild. It's so wild to think that if you want to get from point A to B now, you have to make a layover or 2, and a normal like 6-hour flight could take you 20 hours.
Mhm.
Oh, boy.
There's so many things that are just bananas to me.
It's so sad. I love travel so much
Me too.
that it hurts.
You know who hates travel?
Kevin.
Hawaii Five-0 Kevin. Kevin hates traveling. Although in recent years, so Alyssa and I used to go on vacations. In recent years, Kevin came around and was like, okay, I'll go on vacation with her, blah, blah, blah. And he started to like it. But remember, you were really like,
Well, okay, so early on, we're an incredibly competitive business. And, people always want to know, like, why you've had such a long run, Maria. But that's why, because we didn't travel. We worked. And
Yeah.
so I was always just nervous that we were going to lose our footing. We weren't going to make money. And I'm like, this is the time. So that's why. And then, but also, look, what I still don't like is going through the airport, security, all that stuff's very stressful to me. Once I'm on the plane, I'm fine. Then
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yep.
But you guys are very extroverted, and it's.
We are.
But you've done well.
We
considering
are. We're
this
trying.
is definitely the new normal.
We're trying.
Mhm.
I mean, this is hilarious. So I'm going to be filling in for Kelly Ripa next month, and I'm like already trying to figure out what I'm going to wear. Normally, I would be figuring out what I'm wearing like a day before because I'm so busy and crazy. And so now I'm kind of like, oh, I get to go to New York in a month.
I'm like, Maria, what am I wearing? No,
I'm
it's
like,
exciting.
oh my God, we're going to New York.
I know. I mean,
It's
if
so
this
wild.
doesn't say, I get excited when I get to go pick up the Dunkin stuff because it's like, woo,
It's true.
little trip to Dunkin.
Which, by the way, guys, let's get to it because I got some snacks here that I got to tell you about, and I've been kind of secretly munching on them before. And I was like, Kelsey, get this show going because I want to snack. So it's time for our Dunkin break. You know Better Together runs on Dunkin. Today we're going to be exploring their snacks. And so their new Dunkin snack menu has a wide variety of sweet and savory bites to keep you running. I have in my hands, it's called Snack and Bacon, guys. See this? It is absolutely the most amazing sweet, savory, crispy snack, maple sugar snack and bacon. You hear that? I'm telling you right now, this is my favorite bacon
Wow.
ever.
I'm telling you right now, what's that thing called where you
Mhm.
have like the food have a problem when you hear food noises. I have that.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, people.
It bothers you. It means
Oh,
it turns
so
you off.
bad.
It bothers
It
you.
like makes my skin
That's your like
crawl.
And by the way,
OCD thing. Ray's got a
is.
couple
The
of them.
sound here is so intense. Ready?
I know.
There's some statistic about sex and bacon that there's a great percentage of people who would rather have bacon than sex. John Taffer covered it in one of his bar recipes, and he just put it up again last week. Yeah, that's why he tries to add it onto his menu.
Guys, I'm going to tell you right now. That bacon is like eating a piece of candy. It is so intense and so amazing. Do you want to try it, honey?
No. Okay.
Okay. We also have, let's see what's in this one.
And by the way, while you open that, the reason I'm saying no
My
real
favorite bagel bites.
is because I had one. What did I have?
Plain stick.
Plain stick.
Oh, yeah, my plain sticks are my favorite.
Yeah.
This is the hash brown. Guys, the hash browns are crispy, salty bit of goodness, delicious all day, not just at breakfast. Honey, you know I love food. So, guys, so this is the problem. If you know me and if you live with me, I'm very expressive. My dad used to call me Hollywood when I was little. Okay, Hollywood, because I'm very dramatic.
This is also true.
But really, it just means I'm expressive. So when I love food, I'm moaning.
Yep.
When I am lifting something, I'm making, I'll make these weird noises. If I'm getting in the shower, I'm like, I screech. So I'm very expressive. Kevin knows. So, and of course, we have the everything bagel bites, which is a staple in my life now.
Right.
I think I'm becoming a bagel bite because I eat so many of these. But listen, what goes great with a Dunkin' snack, as always, is a Dunkin' coffee. Today, we're just going with a nice,
Just a classic.
simple black coffee.
Maria's favorite. She likes the original blend.
And I got to tell you, if you're out there and you're like, oh my God, you don't put anything in your coffee. I know that a coffee with cream and sugar is luscious. Trust me. And there's a moment for it. But a black coffee, you actually taste the coffee and it's so good, especially because Dunkin's coffee is the best. So I challenge you to try it. I think you'll really like it. And then, you'll feel good about yourself because you're like, It's like kind of like a badge of honor. If you can drink your coffee black, I think it's a badge of honor. You're like, I don't need anything. Fine. Thanks. I got it.
It's kind of old school too.
It is old school.
You know what I mean? How you like your coffee black?
Yeah.
Like all the badass.
Yeah. Like people are like, I'll just have a whiskey on the rocks. I'm like, what?
Oh, straight, Maria. Not even on the rocks.
Oof.
Straight.
Yeah.
No thanks.
I can't do that.
No,
People
no.
don't play.
But listen.
And look
Hair-
at this,
hair
you
on your
guys.
chest.
Look what we got, Maria. Some swag today from Dunkin.
Oh,
I took
wow.
Stephen Lemieux. He was in for a few days. We did some work. We had some laughs, and on the way to the airport,
I
Uncle
love
Kev
that.
pulled over, we bought his and his.
Isn't his?
His and his
Oh
Dunkin'
my
cups.
God. I love
Aren't
them.
these so cool?
No, they're so cool.
And so
Dunkin'
colorful.
really, like I've said
Really
it,
cute.
has really just gone above and beyond with their new merch and their snacks and everything and their new coffees. So listen, today is free coffee Monday for members at Dunkin'. So if you're a rewards member, you get a free medium hot coffee with a purchase. If you're not a rewards member yet, you can join on the app today. No matter what you're craving, Dunkin' has what you need to keep you going. You can try the croissant stuffers, of course, the bagel bites. I'm telling you that maple bacon, that's my first time trying it.
I know.
It's holy shit amazing. Order ahead on the app. Get your favorites delivered to you at the door with Dunkin' Delivers. America runs on Dunkin'. So does Better Together. And that is that. That's our Dunkin' break for today. I'm going to not eat this right now, even though I want to, so that I can actually speak because I have something to share with you guys. So we are here. Kevin's putting up a sign. Will you show him the sign? Show everybody what Kevin's writing.
Oh, you said you had something important.
Oh, yes. Okay, so Regular Guy Fridays was not what I was about to talk about, but I will just share that you guys got a lot of love, a lot of downloads, a lot of people really loved
Plug Regular Guy Friday.
Regular Guy Fridays. It was a joke. I was horrified every time he brought it up, but I can see that there is some support out there. So as long as they do a good job every week,
Unfortunately,
I'll continue it.
They're called mercy loads.
But as I
I think people actually
Mercy
liked it.
comments.
But as I was reading all the comments, I was dying laughing because I was like, oh, guess you guys have a lot of comments and everyone seems to love you
Yeah.
guys.
She was going through her email like
I was pretend jealous.
Kevin and Kelsey, Kevin and Kelsey, Kelsey,
Mm.
Kevin, Kevin.
Yep.
And we were
Guess who
just
was
like,
feeling left out? Me.
Listen,
But
it's for the regular people in an irregular world.
That's right.
That's what we've decided.
well, listen, I congratulate you two.
Thank you.
Just as long as you guys don't listen to more of them and less of me, we won't have any problems. Okay?
I think we're like just a spice, just
Like
Right,
you're a
just
spice.
a little spice.
A
At the-
little spice.
At the end of the week, just a little.
All right.
Spice.
Anyway, yeah, so Regular Guy Fridays, guys, is official. It will be in your feed, so come enjoy.
So many good regular
What I
tips,
want,
Maria,
by the
too.
way, this is a regular-ish tip, but what I
Ooh.
wanted to share was my revelation. So we're here in Connecticut. My husband last year for Christmas got me a Peloton. And so, yes, I felt fancy. And I had wanted it from like the Christmas before, but I was being like too cheap. And I didn't think that buying something that expensive was, worth it. But I got it for Christmas anyhow. And we've been here most of the year, so I haven't
Yeah.
really gotten to enjoy it. But when you buy it, it comes with this, with the programming. The programming is $40 a month. And I didn't think about it. We have like our 20-year-old, maybe older treadmill down here.
Mhm.
We like made our little gym. Kevin did buy the Bowflex recently, so the Bowflex is down here, and an old Stairmaster that I have. And I've been getting on the treadmill, and I'm on the treadmill, and I'm like, okay, we're staring at a concrete wall basically, and it's super boring down here, so I could barely get through 15 minutes of a walk. Well, Meredith, my other friend from Chicago, had told me recently that she uses the Peloton app without having a Peloton. And I was like, oh, she's like, oh my God, the workouts are amazing. And I'm like, wait, I didn't know you could do that. So lo and behold, this morning when I was on the treadmill, I was like, oh, I'm just going to see if I can pull this up. I pulled it up. Whoa, like the clouds parted, the sun came out, the birds started chirping. I now was able to get a walk program in there that would challenge me at times, but they do it so cool. Like they confuse me, I feel like. So it's like I do a 20-minute walk and it goes by like this because they're like, okay, so we're just going to power walk for 1 minute. And you do the power walk for 1 minute and then they take it down. And then like, okay, for 30 seconds, we're going to do a brisk, incline. And they just keep changing things up. And then all of a sudden you're done. And it's incredible. So I was like, wait, for $40 a month, well, we're all trapped in our homes and we don't want to go to the gym because it's scary, or I feel bad for gym owners even saying that, but whatever. There are people who can't. I just found it to be amazing. And they've got like yoga and they've got cardio class. They have everything you could want.
So I was going to ask you that for people who don't have their treadmills and that sort of thing, they have like just mat exercises and stuff too?
No, but like I used my treadmill instead of their treadmill.
No, but I'm saying if people don't have a treadmill at
Oh
home.
yeah, you could do mat classes,
That's awesome.
yoga, everything.
Wow.
It's pretty bananas. I was really happy with it. So
By the way, this is not a paid endorsement, just to be clear. So.
yeah, I'm pretty excited about it because I need to like move somewhat. And
You know why? 'Cause
why?
we're all working on our revenge bods.
Oh, totally working on the revenge bod.
Bods.
I will say our workshop this week, our heal event for the Patreon was amazing. And we did this whole heart chakra opening with Cindy Dale. That was so incredible and so moving. And there were a lot of tears and a lot of breakthroughs. So if you haven't joined us on Patreon, definitely think about investing in yourself. We have incredible healers and thought leaders and experts that you now have exclusive access to. Our Patreon members are asking questions, they're interacting, and it's
And people having real breakthroughs, Maria. I mean,
yeah.
It was a lot of tears. A lot of people, when Cindy took us on through that process, people were having massive revelations
For $10 a month, guys.
massive breakthroughs. Yeah.
$10 a month, you get the ad-free shows, the extra shows, and the access to the workshops. So join us. Of course, it helps us keep this, this all going and keep the lights on. But really, those are like the events that we live for. Kelsey and I are so excited for them, and they just light us up because we're watching people's lives transform and people be touched, and
It's so
we're all
special.
touched together. Like we're all in this together. It's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny after you just said it, Maria, but after every heel event, like of course we love doing the show every day, but after every heel event, it's a different energy.
Yeah.
Because we get to actually connect and like physically see people's lives being transformed. It's so cool.
Well, and the intimacy that we get to have with everybody. We're all like chatting, and we know people now. So we're like, hey, what's going on with you? And it's so
really cool.
Yeah.
Really
So anyhow, if you haven't joined, you can click the link tree on our Instagram at Better Together with Maria, or on my Instagram at Maria Menounos, and join us there. I think there was an article I wanted to get to with you guys that was interesting because it talks about taking care of yourself too, and how self-care isn't a reward that's meted out once all the hard work is done. It's I've never heard that word meted, by the way. METED.
METED. Meted definition.
Like handed out.
To dispense or allot justice, a punishment or harsh treatment.
Interesting. So this woman writes that self-care isn't a reward that's meted out once all the hard work is done. She talks about how, as women, especially, we feel shamed by society if we have a kid or a sick parent. If we take time for ourselves, we feel guilty, but men don't feel that way. And I fully understand that feeling. And I'm not a mom. I'm a canine mom. But being in the situation with my mom, I feel like if I'm not always in there, or if I'm not putting in like real time, that I'm terrible. Like I do feel guilt, and I know better. And I have like a hard time sleeping at night because she's just my entire thought process, my entire world revolves around my mom right now, and has for 4.5 years. Truthfully, I've had more distractions normally than I do now.
This has been the most intense since the beginning.
Since COVID. Yeah, since COVID. It's really, so since November, it's really been just 100% in.
I mean, you really gave a break to your dad too, just so you know.
What do you mean?
I was with them for months in LA.
Oh yeah, my dad needed a break. Yeah.
It was the day was like, Violetta, and then at night was your dad. I, of course, did what I could, but he slept next to her, and she would have him up 4 or 5 times a night. And then he would work with me all day and forget asking him to take a nap. That's just not his vernacular. So now, like, look at, he's cooking, he's watching TV.
Yeah, he's happy.
He's mourning in his own way, but at the same time, you've made it, Maria, so he's lighter.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see.
Oh, I can see he's happier. Like he's having more fun. He's like, there's like distractions for him that are healthier. But I understand what it's like to feel that guilt. And a lot of us do turn to neglect, and the neglect is for us. And then we get sick. So, so many caretakers get sick taking care of the sick because they either have zero time, like there's just really no time to get away. And that's heartbreaking, right? I am blessed to be able to have caretakers that are here helping us. But even with that, I still have to put my time in, and I still have to help. I was upstairs helping, her be changed because one of the caretakers has a hard time, and getting her op tune off her head. That's why I was late, because it's so sensitive, her scalp. If we rip those things off, then we can't put them back on. Then she gets no treatment. So you have to, I know I have to be in there to make sure things are going well, but it's hard. And I can only imagine as a mom, like there's a difference when you're caretaking sometimes for someone sick, because you're kind of on your own island. right? You might have family members that will shame you or whatever, but for the most part, they don't even want to be a part of it, right? It's like those are the hard times. But with kids, moms have other moms who just are shaming you.
Right.
And
That was what the article was about.
yeah.
And it was kind of nasty, and it was interesting. It was like this woman who lives in New York City, and she was just like, I can't take a shower and tell my friends I am taking a shower or making food for myself without them being like, oh, well, what was your kid doing? What were you doing with your kid during that time? It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I don't know.
Yeah. I think, well, this just begs it begs for Gabby Bernstein's book, The Judgment Detox, because the problem is we've created such a cycle, right? Judge, 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 judge. And then we're judged on our side because we're judging everybody else. And I think that that book is so important, or even just the concept of going on. For me, I remember reading the book, or excuse me, burping up my maple bacon. I remember reading it and saying, "Oh gosh, that's it. I have to cut judgment out of my life, like I cut sugar, or like I cut, whatever it is." And it's made me so much better and so much happier, because it's kind of an ugly thing, and it does boomerang back to you. But if we could all even just commit to, like, okay, this week I'm going to really focus on not judging. And then if you do, correct yourself, as she says. What was the 3-step process Gabby had? You acknowledge the thought and the judgment or whatever, and you forgive yourself, and then you choose again. The choose again method. So try a judgment detox for a week, and then again, you have to forgive yourself because you're cutting out a pattern that's been with you for so long. And the more we all do it, the better we're going to feel individually, right? Because we're all connected and we're all feeling it, and you give it, you get it. And it's a really ugly process, but I can't imagine, being a mom and feeling like she said, I was conditioned to believe that good mothers always put themselves dead last. How are you able to be good? And what example are you sharing with your loved ones, right? Like, even with
your children.
Yeah.
What example are you giving the children that you're putting yourself last? Do you think they're going to say they're going to put themselves last? Is that good for them? Not to mention, do we really need to be overindulging these kids any more than we already have?
Yeah.
So
it's really, really hard. So she says self-care has been totally commercialized by the wellness industry, but it doesn't have to be expensive or even cost anything. We had Jen Loudon on the show who taught us all about that.
Yeah, that stuck out to me a lot, because I remember I loved that bit with Jen Loudon, and I think that's huge. The wellness industry has gotten really big and popular in the last couple years, and they've really kind of taken on this whole, like, oh, for self-care you need this jade roller, or you need this getaway, or this retreat, or go do this or do that. And so us everyday people are like, oh shit, I can't do that, I don't have time for that, I don't have money for that. And it's like, no, self-care can be as simple as Grace Harry, take your 5 minutes in the morning.
Yeah,
that's self-care. So Jen Loudon talked a lot about that on her episode, and I loved it. And then you guys launched into talking about creating a self-care menu, right?
Yeah, you pick from it.
Right, cooking, walking your dog, like these little things that are self-care. So I love that.
Yeah, I think it's important. I really think it's important to take care of yourself as well. Whoever if you're taking care of anybody or anything, remember yourself. You matter. And don't feel guilty. We all have to remind ourselves. And that's the thing is, if I'm reminding other people, then they'll remind me too, because we are all going to lose our way at different points, right? Just the fact that I would feel like this is what I did one time when I was feeling like I wasn't doing enough for my parents, which, Kevin was laughing at me. And I knew consciously, like, something probably to be laughed at because I do a lot, but I did one of those hour tracker apps. And I started counting how many hours. Oh my Lord, it was insane. I was like, oh, okay, really, I do a lot for them. Like, I can't live my own life and live theirs. So I have to, like, be okay when I need my breaks and I need to go do my own thing.
But I wonder how we even get to that, right? It's like that's so interesting to me to think that you would think that you weren't doing enough for your parents.
Yeah.
Because if it
Well,
was,
I realized it in this process
Yeah.
because I would have never known where it came from if it wasn't for last week when I was talking to my mom and I was explaining to somebody in the room how she took such good care of my dad. She was his nurse, she was his chef, she was his doctor, she was his everything. And then I go, oh my God, I just took her role. We just shapeshifted. Like I just took on her role. And now I'm doing it for the both of them because that's the behavior I watched. I watched that that's what you're supposed to do. Now, I'm choosing to do it as well because my goal has always been for my parents to live as long as they can and have the happiest and healthiest life that they can.
Your mom did a lot for you.
And my mom and my dad did a lot for me, but my mom especially.
Oh, and your dad too.
But yeah, it's definitely something I watched.
Can I red flag something too?
Yeah.
Sometimes, which I think activates this, is the person in the letter had the friends call, saying, make her feel guilty, or maybe they didn't, or maybe she just insinuated. But I know that we can have narcissistic family members in our families, that will be like, you're not really doing anything, or we even go so far as to, how come she doesn't have curtains in her room, or why isn't, do you know what I mean? Like, I know I've experienced that. I was going to speak to your situation, but I know that I've seen it in my own family where, like, wait, what? Like, I took 2 years off to take care of my father. I paid all the bills. And it was like, but what have we really done? Do you know what I mean? And we're sometimes surrounded by crazies who make us, and I think, I don't know if it's going to make sense. I think a lot of caretakers have that around them because those kind of narcissists really vampire on the caretakers, the people that deeply care. So we kind of attract those people. But I know that, I bet you anything, a lot of people out there will have family members going, yeah, I mean, you could do more. I mean, come on, if I polled some of your external family members, I bet you anything they'd maybe not now, because I think you've made your point, but I'm not so sure we wouldn't get some notes as to how you could be doing a better job. I'm not so sure about that.
Well, and then here's the thing. So for everybody out there who's in that situation, what we need to do as the caretakers is take stock on our own of what we've done, and do we feel good about what we've done, and not let external forces tell us whether we're good or bad or enough or not enough, right? Anytime I have felt bad, Kevin will put me in my place and be like, Maria, really, really, do you even know what you've done for them? And he'll check me. But this is the bigger problem, is we give away our power in life. We all do it, whether it's in caretaking, at work, or whatever. And I've been really amazing at it. We give away our power to people who should never even have a say, right?
Right.
And so if those people are in your life and they're doing this to you, mute them. They don't matter unless they're going to come in and get their hands dirty. They don't matter.
Don't ever say.
They don't pay your bills.
Yep.
They won't be there to help you either, because their criticisms are really just them projecting on you everything that they are generally, right? So what happens is, when you're great, or you're doing something great, or you're going above and beyond, you end up being a mirror to everyone else of everything they're not. That's where I know I've encountered a lot of issues, right? And so there's a jealousy that comes. So what we have to really start to work on is creating kind of our bubble and protecting ourselves and just saying, none of their voices matter. And if you're in an old family system where you still have to be around these people and you're afraid to cut them out and whatever, then you need to get really, really strong inside of yourself and really, really okay with what you are doing and how much you can give, and leave it at that. And don't let all their noise infiltrate your heart and your work and what you do and what you bring, because that's what ends up killing us. And that's what ends up creating so many fights. Trust me, I've had to mute, um, I've had to mute people because it just is not healthy for me. And
For all the same reasons you just mentioned.
and guess what? The boundaries have been amazing. And then people start to behave within your boundaries.
Right.
And that's it.
But
So
they'll
you'll
push,
see.
they'll
They'll push,
push.
they'll push, they'll
Yeah.
push, they'll push.
Hold your ground.
Hold your ground. And then they're going to be like, screw it. So,
And can I give you another thing too about
Yeah.
judgment detox? Sometimes we will judge the other parties, members of your family that aren't doing enough or
Mhm.
anything. And like, I know I got to a place in my situation, this was a long time ago, where I was actually like, hey, I'm grateful I'm the one that likes doing it, can do it, has the means to do it, has the money to do it, has the job to do it. And I didn't look to my other family members to help at all.
by the way, when you said you had the means, you were a vendor for a
Mhm.
sausage company. It's
I
not
was.
like you were.
No,
No, but I'm saying,
Yes,
just
thank
to be
you.
clear, you
To be
weren't
clear.
in the situation you're in.
But I will say, other people can relate to this. I lived at home, so I didn't have the bills say someone else would have, and so whatever money I had, I was able to use to help my family. That's what I mean by the means. And I had a job that gave me winters off, the carny business. Normally, I would go to LA to write. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be with my dad till the end. So it was a couple of years. I took off from the business, but I will say that when I stopped judging other members of my family, why isn't this one here, or can't this one like one day come and sit with him? You know, my dad
Mhm.
was like your mom, was 24 hours, but he was in a lot of pain. So we were always
You needed to
managing
be
the pain,
there, yeah.
distracting him, anything my mother and I could do. And I would do nights, she would do days. But then I got to a place where I was like, you know what? I'm going to focus more on me and the blessings I have to be able to do this. And then I'm so grateful to spend this time with my dad. And I was like, I got to a point where I actually felt sorry for my other family members. I'm like, because they're missing out
Mhm.
on the last days with their dad and their uncle or their whatever cousin or their brother-in-law. They're missing out.
Yeah.
You know, and my dad was a pretty great guy. And you're missing out on that. And someday, you know, maybe when they're 50 or 60 or they'll go, oh shit. Or maybe they won't. I don't know. But I stopped expecting anything.
Mhm.
So I'm always saying to Maria too, do not expect any help.
Yeah.
Then when you get some, it's like, oh, isn't that nice? Like you get something nice but expect no help and just be grateful that you're the one who's able to do it. But we can definitely judge other people who just can't. They're not
yeah.
equipped.
I've definitely
to
had
help.
moments along this journey where I'm like, I can't believe that person doesn't call her. Or like, how does this person not even send her flowers on her birthday? Or like just shocking kind of stuff. Or why didn't people visit more when they were here in Connecticut? And, I would definitely get bummed out. But what I started to realize is it's nothing I can control.
No.
And also, I don't know what everyone else is going through. Like, here's the real deal, guys. Because I'm constantly getting calls from people who are being diagnosed with glioblastoma, or their kids have a rare cancer, or this one's got that, or this one's got Alzheimer's, this one's got ALS. If you are healthy, you are the luckiest human in the world, and you should be celebrating and happy every second you have, right? Like, really, we are us three in this room, right? We all have our little things, but we are so lucky.
I know.
And so,
And we all forget that.
and we all forget it.
Because it's such
And I'm
it's a
telling
cliche.
you,
Your health is the most important thing.
but it is more likely that we won't be healthy nowadays. There are just more things popping up, more. And so we just need to be grateful for our health and our abilities, and all of that other shit just gets in the way.
Yeah.
Right? The judging, the all of it just gets in the way of you living your best life, and not the millennial like living my best life. I mean, like really living your best life, right? Where you're progressing and you're going after whatever it is you want to do, and you're making a difference, with one person or 20 people or millions of people, whatever it is. So moral of the story is, if you're healthy, you're blessed. I see it so clearly now more than ever because I just get umpteen calls a day. Um, and take care of yourself if you're taking care of children or your family or anybody. You have to replenish yourself. It was funny when we were in the throes of the COVID and my parents being at the house, and the nurse that one of the nurses that came over to help, she goes, I'm more worried about you.
That's right. I remember.
And I just kind of was startled. And yes, I was definitely, burning the candle at both ends. Luckily, I had Kelsey and you, honey. But it's like, it was really scary. But I remember saying to her, I'm like, I got this. Like, I can handle crisis and I got this. And I think I was still careful. I was taking my vitamins and I was really trying to take
Listen,
care of
it
myself.
was hard, but I still am of the belief you did what you had to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's life. And you have
Yeah.
to be tough. And they were tough for you.
Yeah.
And they did everything for you. And they were awesome. And you know what? Like, this is our duty as children.
Yeah.
That's it.
But when you're doing it, try to take care of yourself because that's the whole
Absolutely.
point.
Yeah.
And that's it. And shut off all the noise. And if there are people in your life that are coming in and judging you and all of that, just don't even engage
Mute. I love
because
what you said. Mute. If
just mute.
Yeah, mute.
Yeah. Yeah.
And get people around you that aren't doing that.
Yeah.
Keep looking, guys.
Yeah. For people who are going to help you and build you up and remind you that, don't try to looking for compliments from most people because you're not going to get them. But that's it. I wanted to share that with you guys today because that article really, it was in the New York Times and we can link to it in the
Yep.
summary of this. But I don't think neglecting ourselves to take care of other people is the smartest way to go. And I think we all have to keep reminding ourselves that we matter too. And so
And you have to be strong to take care of someone else. So how can you be strong if you disintegrate?
this is true.
Right?
Let's get to our podcast reviews
Yes.
because you guys have been so amazing sharing Apple Podcast reviews for us. And Kevin, Kelsey are prepared to read some, apparently.
That's right. Here we are.
Is Kevin ready too?
Kevin, you
Kevin's shocked.
pull her up on your phone?
Oh,
I did tell him. Come
Okay.
on, queen.
All right.
Queen's
Okay.
a queen. Be a queen. So I'm going to read one.
Such a
10 out of 10. Really enjoyed Regular Guy Friday.
of course she picks the regular Guy Friday
Thank
review.
you, Jessica93. Okay, now here's another good one. This is from A. Rodrigue965. I'm caring for my 89-year-old dad who has Alzheimer's. And my 87 Alzheimer's. That's right, Mary gets mad when I say Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's. Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm caring for my 89-year-old dad who has Alzheimer's and my 87-year-old mom who has a complex medical issues. I need to thank Maria for being so vulnerable and sharing her experience so completely. It is beyond helpful. Praying for you, your mom, Lisa, sending good energy your way.
Thank you.
So sweet. I like this one too. Saved my sanity. Maria, Kelsey, and Jeff, you have all been part of my life this past year. I watch every day and laugh and cry and rejoice with all of you that I get from the show. You've inspired me to one day start a podcast focusing on healing from the traumas and dealing with the addictions of loved ones. This has been an ongoing narrative of my life. I just attract people with issues and with drug and alcohol addiction, and my ever-present codependent tendencies make me the perfect specimen for these people. You always bring to the table topics that help me navigate these relationships. I love when I can sit down and go to therapy watching your shows. Maria, you are seriously my soul sister, and maybe one day I will have the honor to meet you. Thank you for literally saving my mental health during COVID. Sending one
Oh my
big
God, it's gonna
hug.
make me cry.
Oh, and hugs to Winnie too.
Oh, who was that from?
It's smiley face 1 2 3 4 5 6.
Well, we love you, smiley face.
Listen, whoever you are, keep working on that why. Why am I attracted to these other people?
Mhm.
It goes back to more than likely your parents and then how they were raised. But keep looking at that and just know that you can actually change who you're attracted to. And I used to tell Maria, like in life, you have rock star friends and you have real friends. But the rock star friends are fun to be with. They make you laugh. They make you feel safe. Maybe you've known them forever. They're super protective of you when you need them to be. But really, they're not friends. But sometimes when you switch up and get away from those rock star friends, like for this girl, she's attracted to those people. There's a reason because her parents raised her that way or whatever the parent, both parents actually, both were addicts or one was an addict, that was a codependent, more than likely if you study alcoholism. and addiction. But you can actually start to train yourself to like a new kind of person. And at first, it's not going to be fun. They won't be finishing your sentences. They won't be connecting with you on the same things. But ride it through. I did this with friends. And Maria knows, and over time, I ended up making some really wonderful new friends that were not like the friends I grew up with at all. And now I've learned to be more attracted to that kind of person, So anyway, I root for her.
That's cool. I know, me too.
All right.
I don't have any.
Kevin doesn't have any. So,
Next time.
if you have a second, leave a review for us.
Oh, here it
and
is.
Kevin
Here it is.
will
No,
read
excuse
it.
me.
No, honey,
Here it is.
shush. No,
Here
you're
it is.
making shit up now.
I am not. I'm reading off the card.
No.
Why are you being like that? Maria, I am obsessed with your show. I learned so much. It's changed my life incredibly. I just have one note. Can there be more regular guy Fridays? Wow. I'm getting so much out of your tip about how to build a desk, how to have a home gym, how to straighten your hair. Just please give me more of it every Friday morning.
Give me more.
And that is from Lala Face 627.
Honey,
What?
do you want to be known as a liar on Better
Why have
Together?
to be like that?
Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Thank you, Heal Squad. We love you guys. If you haven't hit subscribe, and join us here every single day. Help us get to 10,000 Instagram followers by following us on Better Together with Maria.
Close.
We are so close. Tomorrow we're going to have health expert, Emmy winner, one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential people, Forbes' most influential celebrity, Dr. Oz, will be here tomorrow. We're very excited to have him here. And in the meantime, if you haven't, go to mariamenounos.com, subscribe to our newsletter. We're going to have a new one coming up. That's it for this beautiful Monday. Follow us at Better Together with Maria, at Kelsmeyer2, at Maria Menounos. Shit, I almost forgot mine because I never say mine. And make sure you get maple bacon. I'm going to take the rest of this down. Be nice, people. Make good choices and be present.